In this example, we're going to use unsimplifying to change from fractions to decimals. 1/5 of the world's population lives in China. What is this as a decimal? So we want to find it as a decimal. So we'll have to remind ourselves exactly what decimals are. What do they actually mean? So with decimal place value, you have the units column, then the decimal point, then you have the tenths, the hundredths, and the thousandths column, just as a couple of examples. So, for example, if you have 0.1, that's an example of a decimal to one decimal place, that is actually 1/10, so that's 1/10. Alternatively, if you have 0.01, we have 1 in the hundredths column, so that's 1/100th. And if you have 0.001, you have 1/1000th. So this is what we really need to consider. And let's break down our decimals, our tenths, our hundreds, and our thousands into its prime factors. So if we have 1/10, it will be the same as if we just do 10 is basically 2 times 5. So it'll be the same as 1/2 times 5. If you have 100ths, then if we break this down, it's going to be, 100 is going to be 2 times 50, 2 times 25, 5 times 5. So it's going to be 1/2 times 2 times 5 times 5. So we'll just do with those two first of all. So if we have 1/5, let's now write our 1/5. And actually we could reduce that to its prime factors, but 1/5 is 1/5. So now we're going to have to try and write an equivalent fraction in terms of tenths or 100ths or 1,000ths. In tenths, we need to have 2 times 5. So on the bottom we need to have 2 times 5. Now can we do that in this situation? Yes, we can, because we've already got a 5, and then we just need to be able to multiply it by 2 to make it into tenths. And therefore we're writing now our equivalent fraction by unsimplifying. So our 1 that we originally had also needs to be multiplied by the 2. Okay, so what do we come up with then? So 1/5 is the same as 1 times 2, which is 2/10. So now we've written it in tenths, and 2/10, if we now use our decimal place value, so we've got our units. So this needs to be drawn up all the time. Units, tenths. Oh, actually, when you're going to tenths, we've got 2/10, so we want 2/10, and so our decimal is 0.2.